Hey, good morning, everybody. 10 Tampa Bay meteorologist Grant Gilmore here with you. It is 9:48, and we are tracking some severe storms approaching the coast. No warnings in effect for anybody on land, but we do have a marine warning out just off the coast of Pasco and Hernando County. This storm's moving to the east pretty quickly, and it's getting ready to move out of that warned area and then potentially prompt a severe thunderstorm warning that may be coming for some of our coastal counties. So we're watching that. We may have to jump in and do some on-air broadcasting, but for the time being, we want to jump in here on Facebook and YouTube to keep you guys posted and let you know what's going on out there. So just a quick tour of things right now. Again, this is a marine warning that's in effect until 10 o'clock this morning, so that goes for about another 10 minutes or so. But you can see how, just looking at that eastern fringe of that polygon, that ball of the heavier rainfall and a little bit of rotation in there is starting to move closer to that edge of the warned area. So I'll pause that real quick. It's moved to the east at around 30 miles per hour. Let's put a quick track on this here. You can kind of see where it's going to be tracking as it moves more over to closer to the coast right now. Let's see. Here's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for this right here. So it's going to be tracking to the east-northeast there. So it looks like this whole area, regardless of if it has a warning on it or not, it's going to be moving in over the next hour or so. So Hudson around 10:20, probably even sooner than that, I would think. The Regional Medical Center there at Bayonet Point at 10:24, and looking at moving towards Spring Hill just before 11 o'clock, so about an hour away from that. So the storm continues to move pretty quickly out towards the east. A fair amount of lightning with it along the leading edge. And then the lightning kind of tapers off once that heavy rainfall also clears out as well. There's more storms to the south and west, nothing as impressive from a rotational standpoint. Let me throw on some of the velocity here, and you can see what we're talking about in terms of that tornado threat. It's not much. It's kind of broadened out a little bit, but you see right, if we're looking here, right in this area right here, this is the area. Let me turn on the arrows. So this is the area right here that we're seeing that rotation that could potentially be producing a water spout, at least out there over
They just went with strong thunderstorms heading in that direction.
Okay, so we just got an alert from the National Weather Service. By the way, Chief Meteorologist Bobby Deskins is here, and he's keeping an eye on things off camera, but for sure we'll just be popping in and out and talking about what we have. What's that? You get some. Bobby's catching up on his emails this morning before the storms get here. All right, so let me show you a little bit more about what we have out there. So that's the main area of concern at this point. Bob, was that they said for Polk County?
Did it say that in there?
Yeah, it said for Polk County strong. Well, what did they? What was that? So it's okay. So just like extreme northwestern Polk County. So they included all the other counties too. So they just put out basically a special weather statement for Pasco, Hernando, Citrus County as this whole cluster of storms. I mean, I guess it's a line, but it really is an embedded cluster of some stronger cells that they're more concerned with the potential to produce some quick spin-up tornadoes. And honestly, probably that tornado threat and that more severe threat is going to be right along the coast there from Newport Richey up to Hudson, Spring Hill, and I'm not so much in the Crystal River. I mean, maybe southern Citrus County, but I think Crystal River just has some heavy rainfall right now. And then that spinning in the atmosphere is really more of a threat a little bit farther south, closer to where that marine warning actually is. Again, I'll switch over to the velocity mode. Let me turn on the storm tracks here, so you can really pinpoint the areas that have that spin there, which one of them is right here. So it's showing that red spin is showing early tornado development. We have some more rotation back here. There's a few other really discrete areas of rotation, so really kind of dotting all along that line. There's several areas where the storms get a little bit more intense and that rotation starts to spin up a little bit. Bigger picture, looking at it from a kind of a much higher view. You see that line of storms really extends all the way out into the Gulf of Mexico, and that's all along the cold front. that's sweeping in across the Gulf and then across the area throughout the day. But I do think, I mean, once this initial leading edge of storms gets through here, we'll have some trailing showers, some gusty winds, and breezy conditions. But I think this initial threat for severe weather is going to be moving out of here as we head through the middle of the afternoon into the evening hours. And then just to plot the cold front there, you see there's the cold front, and the winds shift pretty quickly after the storms taper off. Once that rain ends, you know that cold front's moving through. You'll notice the change in the wind speeds. The winds will start to come out of the north, and that cooler air will really begin to rush in as we head through the overnight. Already looking at a good temperature difference. Gainesville's at 69, so the front and some rain cooling that air already in Gainesville. But Tallahassee has already dropped to 61. Panama City's at 56. And Pensacola, even though the sun's been up now for a few hours, Pensacola has been basically holding steady in the low 50s all day long. So that cooler air really rushing in to the western panhandle out of the Mississippi Valley and then the northern states. But chilly air is on the way for us, but not before those storms potentially bring us some severe weather. There is a slight risk. We've been talking about this last couple of days. We've been painted in that slight risk for some severe weather. There's a fair amount of shears, so some water spouts and tornadoes can't be ruled out, but I do think probably the primary concern is just going to be some damaging winds with some of the stronger storms. So that's the initial concern as we go into the second half of our morning and then into the afternoon. And then once we get past around 3 or 4 o'clock, we should be in the clear for at least that severe threat. This is the futurecast. I'll be honest, the latest run of the model has been a little slow, meaning that I think it's not putting the storms as far ahead of that cold front as they are developing right now. So I think you need to cheat the futurecast timetable there at the top a little bit, maybe 2 or 3 hours ahead of time. So this is saying 1:30. Maybe the storms are moving through Tampa Bay. I would say probably closer to around noon. To 11 o'clock as they start to move in from the north and west. But the general idea is that they'll be sweeping through. Rain's done by sunset for most of us. Maybe southern Sarasota County, Highlands, Hardy DeSoto County, you might still have some showers there through sunset. And then the clouds will gradually clear as well. And really, once the clouds clear and that sky is really opened up and that cooler northerly flow comes in, those temperatures are going to drop quickly tonight. I mean, just going back here, you see by around midnight, we're still in the middle and upper 60s. It's feeling okay. But I think as we get into around 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, every hour you'll see a temperature drop by about 3, 4 degrees, and then we eventually bottom out somewhere in the lower 50s. For tomorrow mornings, probably some 40s over the Nature Coast. So a big difference. I mean, you're talking about a temperature drop of about 20 degrees from where we were this morning when we had temperatures in the low 70s. And tomorrow morning, temperatures will be in the lower 50s. So this is the big change that we've been talking about for the last couple of days. It's the storms first, and then it's the big temperature drop. And that's going to be a little bit of a shock to the system. This isn't the coldest that we've been so far this year, but I think after the stretch of really warm weather that we've had recently, this quick drop in temperatures is really going to be kind of a shock. And then we'll spend a couple of days with temperatures near 70 degrees, and then we see another round of some cooler air come in as we head into the weekend. That's going to come from a quick-moving storm system that will move across the Gulf of Mexico. It looks like the first half, if not the first 3 quarters, majority of the day on Saturday should be rain-free. But then some showers start to approach. We could see some scattered showers through Saturday night. And then Sunday morning, we might start with an early morning shower. But once that rain clears out, another push of cold air comes in from the north, and we'll probably spend most of the day on Sunday with temperatures in the 50s. I do think we see a high in the lower 60s on Sunday, but it's probably going to be a really chilly day on Sunday with those temperatures in the 50s for much of it. And then we're going to see the sunshine return and then temperatures try to moderate a little bit. Here's the 7-day forecast here real quick. 68 on Monday. Another system comes through on Tuesday, maybe some showers Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. And then it looks like after that, a lot of the long-range forecast models have been hinting at another cold front coming through that could potentially knock temperatures back into the 50s again and then low 60s for Christmas. I did a very preliminary Christmas forecast this morning on Brightside, and again, temperatures in the low 60s, 61 degrees Christmas Day. Obviously unseasonably cool. The normal high on Christmas Day is around 74 degrees. We'll be near 61, so, or at least that's the way it looks right now. We'll see how it pans out. It's still a week and a half away. But at least right now, the trend is for a cooler Christmas, where I think last year we were in the 70s. 70s last year, Bobby, for Christmas? Does that sound right?
So.
Something like that. I think 2 years ago, 2020, Christmas 2020 was a chilly Christmas. I think it was only in the 50s, maybe 60s.
So this area, another marine warning, it's a large one, but Hudson around 10:15. That cell's rotating really well still.
All right, let's
They
go.
just expanded this marine warning. That's what you hear in the background. That goes from southern Pinellas all the way up.
So we're looking at that new marine warning that just came down. You might hear the alert, the siren in the background. We've got several weather radios here in the newsroom.
So they got two. They got this small one right here.
Yeah.
That's the rotation. That's the one we need to watch for.
So look this.
And then this one's just covering the rest of the line coming through. It's not a major thing for that.
Which all within that line, there's been like really tiny, discrete little couplets or areas of spin. But look at this here. That we've been seeing a lot of these areas of rotation weaken as they get closer. This one's it's not super well defined, but you can see these are some strong winds going away from the coast actually, and then on the backside you have some wind speeds coming toward the coast. So that spin or that shear we call it, that's where we could see some water spouts or the potential for that tornado as that area of rotation then moves across the coast. So really looking at what area right there? That's in between Newport Richey and Hudson, so Jasmine Estates, Bayonet Point, that area right there. It's already raining there, but we're really dealing with the strongest winds and those gusty conditions and the potential to see some water spouts or a tornado potentially come in here over the next 15 to 20 minutes. I've got comments going over here. It seems like you guys are just checking in and saying hi and good morning and wishing everyone well. Hopefully everyone's staying safe out there this morning. This isn't a guaranteed severe weather threat, but it's enough of a threat where we're looking at it and we're saying, yeah, I mean, every little storm that gets a little bit stronger, there's enough shear in the atmosphere to where we could get something that could produce a little bit of damage here or there. Let's see. Seems like the lightning's died down.
Wow.
It's not as concentrated, which is usually a good indicator of it weakening. Let's see here. And there's that rotation. So yeah, this whole line farther back to the south and west, that whole area, I mean, it's like one big marine warning or essentially a severe thunderstorm warning out over the water. So this whole area of storms is capable of producing, capable of producing 50, 60 mile per hour winds, maybe a water spout. So everything that you don't want to be out in when you're on the water.
And two for final weather, like to just make it just guys for final weather.
Just yeah, I mean 30 seconds.
That's all you want.
Yeah, I mean we'll have covered everything.
Okay. Sounds good then.
Or you can do 45. 45. which means it's just below severe criteria, so they may not even issue severe thunderstorm warnings
Oh,
for land.
right. So we were just looking at some of the stuff, the statement that came down from the National Weather Service, and they're estimating those wind speeds of around 45, 50 miles per hour, and maybe some water spouts. No guarantee out there. We don't have anybody out there aside for some boats to potentially tell us if there's a water spout out there. But as this comes ashore, we may get some reports up there. So if you're in the Hudson area, Spring Hill, Newport Richey, and you happen to be watching right now, and you're on this Facebook Live, and you know you're in a safe place, and yeah, I'd love to know what the weather's like up that way. Always getting those ground reports is always really a good assistance to help us understand from what we're seeing in the radar to what's actually happening on the ground. Switch back over to the velocity mode here.
Yes.
I mean,
it looks like it's weakening, but it's still there a little bit.
Yeah,
Right off of northwest of Newport Ridge, right off the Hudson.
right. Yeah, we're looking at this area right here.
So Hudson,
Those-
Arapika.
Those winds look pretty strong. Yeah, those winds,
Going north of Bayonet Point.
43, yeah, 45 mile per hour winds, closer to 50 there in some spots.
Definitely not as organized as it was, the rotation at least as it was.
Yeah, it kind of looks like it's opening up a little bit more broad. So what you're looking at here is, this is the radar. You know, the different colors tell you what direction the wind speeds are going, and not so much from like a northeast southwest standpoint, but in relationship to the radar site. So the radar site's over here in Ruskin. So when you get those bright reds, or just the reds in general, those are all the colors, or all the winds that are moving away from that. So they're kind of going up in that direction like that. And then you get into the green hues, and those are winds that are coming in this direction. So this line right here is kind of your break point for when you would see that wind shift. And you can kind of, sometimes it will happen when you see one of those shelf clouds coming in, and all the wind out ahead of that shelf cloud is coming in one direction. And as soon as that comes in, you feel an immediate shift, and the winds change direction almost 180 degrees in some cases. When that happens over a large area, that's not that big of a deal, right? Because it's kind of all happening broadly and at once. But when it happens in a very small and compact area, and those wind speeds are really strong in one direction and then really strong in the other direction in a really close area, that's when you get that spin that could ultimately take that thunderstorm and that column of air that's spinning and kind of turn it up into the vertical, and that's when you start getting a larger wall cloud, or that funnel coming down to the ground. But when it's out over the water, it kind of happens differently because there's not as much friction out there, and you can have the funnel sort of develop on the surface of the water and then go up into the cloud. It seems like it's trying to bow a little bit.
One more straight line.
Yeah, right in there.
No audio. It's gonna be loud when it comes.
You can see the red tide on the blue one.
Kind of peeping into live weather coverage, not quite severe weather coverage at this point, though. We do have a couple of stronger storms off the coast of Pasco and Hernando County right now. The entire area has a tornado watch that's in effect until 4 o'clock. So we've just got a live going right now just to pop in and out here or there to let you guys know what we're tracking, what we're looking at. We're kind of on the cusp of a severe storm potentially moving ashore into, oh, it looks like they just issued a severe thunderstorm warning. So severe thunderstorm warning for Hernando and Pasco until 12:45. So
10:45.
yeah, 10:45 severe thunderstorm warning.
We're going with 60-mile-per-hour gusts.
There it is right there. So we just got that. We'll see if our crawl goes up on TV.
We're good.
So we'll just stay with you guys on Facebook and YouTube right now with the severe thunderstorm warning. Bobby, you gonna go on air? Okay. All right, guys. So if you're just tuning in, if you just got an update on your phone or your No Weather Radio just went off, we are live streaming severe weather. We've got the crawl running on TV right now for the severe thunderstorm warning. Severe thunderstorm warning now until 10:45 for Pasco and Hernando County. So we'll track this storm as it moves ashore. 60-mile-per-hour winds within the storm. So this one has the potential to produce some damage. So if you're in that area of that polygon that's kind of flashing on your screen right now, just get inside and get into your safe place. No tornado on the ground or expected right now, but even those gusty winds could produce some damage, could send a tree limb into your window. So you just want to be away from those windows and anything that could come in if there is any damage or anything flying around outside. Just reading you what they're saying right now. They're saying capable of producing water spouts. It's located along the line extending from Newport Richey to Clearwater Beach. So that's the area. Let's see, 60-mile-per-hour winds with this. Expect damage to roofs, siding, and trees. Could potentially see some damage just with those strong winds and that lightning that's coming through right now. Generally in the area of Spring Hill, Newport Richey, Weeki Wachee, High Point, Jasmine Estates, including Weeki Wachee Gardens, Shady Hills, Hudson, and Moon Lake. This is now a severe thunderstorm warning. There's also a tornado watch in effect. So that tornado watch just means that conditions are going to be possible for a tornado. But when we have a warning in effect, that means that that threat is immediate. It's happening right now. So we do have a severe thunderstorm now that's moving ashore, and it's right there in the Hudson area. Let's see, moving to the, how fast is this thing moving? Moving to the northeast at 35 miles per hour. So let me put on a track here with this. Move to the east at 35 miles per hour, put it right there. And then if we track it out even beyond where the warning is in effect for, because even though it may weaken, it's still going to impact some of the area there. So we're looking at it moving into Timber Pines around 10:15, moving into Spring Hill around 10:23, Brooksville, North Brooksville area there around 10:35. And Spring Lake around 10:47, which at that point, this warning will have expired. And if the storm stays strong, then it would potentially get a new severe thunderstorm warning issued for it. So it is right on the lower end of that criteria for a severe thunderstorm warning. That criteria is a 58-mile-per-hour winds or stronger than that. National Weather Service estimating those wind speeds around 60 miles per hour right now. Other criteria would be 1-inch hail, and then also a tornado, or at least a threat for a tornado. And at that point, you would get a tornado warning. If there was a great enough threat for a tornado, then they would then issue a tornado warning in addition to this severe thunderstorm warning. But when you look at the actual velocity and the spin that could potentially produce a tornado, there's a little bit. In fact, it looks like it's trying to wrap up a little bit on the back side right here.
Yeah.
You see, Bobby.
I mean, that was when they issued that. Makes me feel like it's good. There's not as much rotation, but we can see something there.
Yeah.
Go back a frame.
Yeah.
See it. It's weak there. It pulses there, but the last frame, right there, the last frame seemed a little weaker.
Did it?
But honestly, Arapika area, that area right there, north of Hudson.
Mm-hmm.
Up towards Weeki Wachee almost. I would keep an eye on it. I think it's going to be south of Weeki Wachee, but south of Arapika Road. But whatever it is coming in right there.
Yeah, so it's going to be going right up through there.
So if you're out
Right.
by the Weeki Wachee Springs, right?
Right. So that's
Just south of there along US 19. Just a severe thunderstorm warning at this point for gusty winds, but what we're trying to show you here is the velocity, which is showing rotation. So are we seeing a water spout in there, a potential tornado? That's what we're looking for there. And we see a little bit of rotation, and this particular cell's been rotating offshore.
right.
It's weakened a little bit. And the Weather Service, when they issued the warning, they said, well, we're not seeing quite as much rotation as we need to be. But
But it seems like it's wrapping up. Yeah, it's starting to wrap up. There's starting to be a little bit more rotation, or a couplet starting to show up on that radar. So we might get a tornado warning here soon.
Do that.
So we'll be ready for that, and we may have to abandon at least the focused coverage on Facebook and YouTube, and then transfer it over to TV, so you can watch that streaming live on 10 Tampa Bay's app, on obviously on TV on channel 10 as well, or wherever that is on your cable provider. But here is, let me switch back over to the actual warning. So that's our severe thunderstorm warning right now. In fact, it looks like the lightning started to flare up.
Flaring up?
Yeah, a little more lightning right in that area of rotation. So there's probably something going on there that might pique the interest of the National Weather Service. Here at 10 Tampa Bay, we don't issue the warnings. That comes directly from the National Weather Service, and once they pull the plug and they say, all right, go, then that's when we jump into action, and we follow course. And if they see something that's enough to make them think there's a potential for a tornado, then we follow suit as well. But looking at that there, that looks to definitely be a developing couplet. Whether it's going to maintain itself once it hits the land, sometimes we see it moves from the water over to the land, it kind of fades away pretty quickly. But I would not be surprised if just north of Hudson, right there on Denton Avenue along 19, if you're in that area, which you are under the severe thunderstorm warning in that area, make sure you're in your safe place, and make sure that you're staying away from the windows, and you're putting as many walls between you and the outside world as possible. Especially coming off the water, that wind is just blowing, so you're going to get some gusty winds regardless within that heavy rainfall. And then continuing farther up to the northeast, we're looking at it. It's moving around 25, 30 miles per hour, so it'll head up towards, kind of split the difference between Spring Hill and Shady Grove there, potentially moving into near the Calvary Church of Nazarene at 10:31. Shady Hill is around 10:38, so looking at about 20 minutes or so. So it's moving like 25, closer to 30 miles per hour right now. And in addition to that wind threat, there's a fair amount of lightning there. See how I turned on the lightning, and I'll step it backwards a little bit. See, they're at 9:58. Wasn't that much lightning, and then all of a sudden, right around 10:05, a lot of lightning flared up. And
Can we look at the polarity?
let's
Do
see.
you have that in there on the lightning somewhere? Where's our lightning over here?
We've
We
got
have a
a,
lightning track.
oh, we had a palette for that.
No, I don't want to change that. No. Let's do it that way. There we go. Nah, can't see that right now.
There's more. I'll have to look and see what I have.
Oh, here's a strike. Here it is, Bobby.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
Sometimes we'll see that polarity switch. Can we go back in time? Yeah.
It just wasn't much at first.
Yeah, it's just starting.
So mainly negative. There's a few positive strikes in there, but most are negative.
Look, it's basically on shore now, so that's good.
Yeah. Probably not going to strengthen much once it moves on shore. In fact, it probably weakens pretty quickly. So this is the area, a little bit of that rotation there. Switch this back over. So there we go. There's our rotation right there, in between Hudson and Hernando Beach.
That one's
Take it down
still
there.
there, looking good.
And then moving to the northeast around 25 miles per hour. If you're just tuning in, I got a severe thunderstorm warning for Pasco and Hernando County until 10:45. And we're looking at this little area of rotation that, if anything, is producing some gusty winds right along the county line of Pasco and Hernando County, heading up towards Timber Pines and then up to Spring Hill, probably into just south of Weeki Wachee within the next 20 or 30 minutes. There it is right there. So you're already getting that pretty good rainfall up in that area. Notre Dame Catholic School there, 10:28, so about 10 minutes or so. That at least most intense area of the storm will be moving in. And then the Timber Pines Country Club at 10:35. And let me move this out of the way. You see
the
it
best
move.
greens.
Oh yeah,
Timber Pines.
Timber Pines.
Tell you.
We're gonna get some
It's been
good
a long
water.
time since I played there, but it was amazing.
Some
The grass was amazing. It sounds stupid to say that about a golf course, but I still years later saying how great that course
Timber Pines. Bobby Deskins.
was. There's the plug.
There's the plug. Bobby's gonna be playing on Timber Pines next week. All of a sudden, Bobby's out there.
Well, that whole area, the Veterans goes up through there. The Suncoast Parkway goes up on the
Yep.
east side of that. So basically, that's all Timber Pines from US 19 to the Veterans.
Oh really?
And that whole area's got to watch it. There's all kinds in there. You get to the Forest Oaks area, that would be kind of, you're going to see this storm as well too. They're north of Timber Pines. Weeki Wachee Acres.
Mezzo issue.
I mean, there's going to be some heavy rainfall. And we got a really good rotation west of Tarpon Springs right now. I mean, it's out there. Nothing to worry about at this point. But
Oh wow. Yeah.
that thing's
I see what you're
13
talking about.
miles out.
Right there.
But I don't think, we've been watching the camera at Clearwater. I just I'm not going to be able to see that. I've kind of got it in that direction now, but we're probably not going to see that from there.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of rain out ahead of it too.
Yeah.
Probably hard.
Yeah, we're good. We're on the cusp.
Yeah.
We got severe thunderstorm warning at this particular point, which we won't go on air for, but still got some rotation out there. We
Okay.
think it's going to fall apart, but
All right, I'm doing the noon, so I'll be in there the whole time.
awesome. We'll stand by.
A lot of lightning with that rotation too.
Oh, by the way, I'm going to say it out loud. This is because Tyler's back. It's first day, right? The first week. Well, what was it, the first day? The first week you were here. We got all kinds of stuff.
All crazy stuff.
He's been gone for 2 weeks.
2 weeks, first day back.
First day back today,
Yeah.
and here we go. Tornado watch, severe thunderstorm warning.
But when I worked in Arkansas, I would come back from vacation and there would be tornadoes the next day. So I'm just keeping the theme going apparently. So
See, that was not on your resume. That's an important thing we need to
It was in
know.
the fine text. You didn't read that part of it. So.
Asterisk by it. Severe weather magnet.
Yeah. All right.
I'm gonna switch over. I'll show what Bobby was looking at over here. The Clearwater Beach camera. This is looking. We were trying to look up into. I mean, it's a long way away. What's that?
Yeah,
Probably
it's
30 miles or something.
13 miles
Oh, it's
offshore. It's 13 and a half off of Tarpon Springs.
Right.
So
Right.
I hate to say it, that looks like some red tide out there.
Bobby was pointing this out. So that's right here. Okay. Oh, let me show that. Oh, here we go. 1 second. Yeah, but we've had a southerly wind for the last about 12 hours or so. So I mean that's looking like red tide just beyond the pier at Clearwater Beach. So all off the coast, probably some red tide creeping up there. So we'll get the next update from FWC is going to be tomorrow. We'll see if they take samples, but it's looking like red tide's creeping up. And then what's going to happen is after the cold front comes in, the winds are going to shift to the northwest, and that could push that red tide right in. Right now, winds are kind of like this. And then the onshore flow is going to then bring it all inland, or at least not inland, onto the coast through tomorrow. So We'll see about that. That's just another situation that we have across Tampa Bay right now. But just checking in with the severe thunderstorm warning that's out there. Let's see here. Here we go. Severe thunderstorm warning out there for Hernando and Pasco County until 10:45. But man, this area back here, that has really started to fire up. Look at that. That is a very, very well-defined circulation. No doubt a tornado, or technically a water spout over the water. But that's going to be moving to the east. And if that hangs together, which it has been, let's see, go back. It's started to form around about 10, 15 minutes ago. It's only gotten stronger. That is included within the larger marine warning that's in effect for the area right now. But within that is a very, very well-defined area of circulation that is no doubt producing a tornado out there right now, a tornadic water spout, I should say. And then if this is moving around the same speed, we'll say 30 miles per hour, just to kind of hedge our bets a little bit there. That would be moving into the Anclote Key Preserve there along the coast, right around 10:39. So in about 10 minutes or so, this is going to move pretty quickly. There at Holiday at 10:52, and Newport Richey at 10:56. So that's something to watch. Definitely more rotation within that area than with that severe thunderstorm that's there to the north, just in the Newport Richey area, all the way up into Hernando County. Let me loop this here. And that's heading out towards the central part of the counties right now. But then that stronger line, the stronger storms with that embedded discrete circulation is now a little bit farther to the south and west. That might be something that gets a warning here within the next probably 10 to 15 minutes or something like that. So I'm going to let this loop here, guys. I'm going to take a quick break, and we'll be here. We're going to keep on the live, so if anything comes up, we'll be here. But just going to take a quick break real quick. We'll keep streaming. If you guys have any questions, I have all the comments scrolling over here on my phone, so I'll keep an eye on that as well. And we'll make sure to keep you guys posted if anything comes down. But right now, the only thing out there is a severe thunderstorm warning for Hernando, Pasco County until 10:45. The entire area underneath a tornado watch until 4 o'clock this afternoon. We'll be here with you guys tracking the storm. We're also getting ready for 10 Tampa Bay midday, which hits at top of noon, high noon. So we'll be getting ready for that as well. So we'll be right back. Hey guys, just want to jump in here real quick. I've kind of had the no audio sign up. I did just want to pop in and let you guys know that we're still here, just tracking this stuff a little bit off camera. But the severe thunderstorm warning continues out there for Pasco and Hernando County for the next 10 minutes. But there's a growing concern back to really due west of Tarpon Springs right now. Really easy to pick out where this concern is, and this is what we call a couplet. Pretty good rotation, probably a tornado or technically a water spout over the water there. It's moving to the northeast around 30 miles per hour, and we very well could see a tornado warning issued because of this rotation as it approaches the coast. It looks like it moves into the Newport Richey area around 10:58, so about 20 minutes or so, if not sooner than that. Seven Springs around 11:02. Duke Energy power plant right there at 10:47.
Highest
So-
winds in the 30s so far this morning.
Strongest wind gusts.
Yeah,
observed
yeah,
wind
just local
gusts.
stuff. I just put that out.
All right, yeah, it's gotten breezier as the cold front's gotten closer, but obviously with this heavier rainfall, you're going to get more embedded gusts with that. So just a couple of areas of more immediate concerns with these stronger storms. You got that severe thunderstorm warning right there, and this is right here is that area that we're finding that rotation that is roughly, let's see, it's about 7-10 miles west of Tarpon Springs, but it's moving to the northeast at around 30 miles per hour. So that's what we're tracking right now. That's what we're watching. I'm gonna turn off the microphone once again and just track some things some more. Of course, as soon as a warning comes down, we'll make sure to jump in and chat with you guys. If not here on the Facebook and YouTube Live, definitely on TV. It looks like with this storm, with that rotation, that we'll probably get a tornado warning here, as opposed to a severe thunderstorm warning as it gets closer. So we'll keep you posted. In the meantime, I'm going to put the no audio back up, and we'll check in with you guys in a bit. Hey guys, just got a new severe thunderstorm warning that just came down. You probably still hear the sirens going off in the background as they turn off our no weather radio here at the station. But this whole line now producing quite a bit of severe weather from damaging winds, a lot of lightning. Let me just check over here and see what the specs are on this thing. Looks like it might even be producing a little bit of hail as well. We'll have to check that out here in a second, but it's the severe thunderstorm warning for Hernando, Hillsborough, Pasco, and Pinellas County. This warning will go until 11:30. All right, now it's not one specific area, right? Sometimes you get a severe thunderstorm warning for one cell. Now it's just broadened out to where this entire line is capable of producing these damaging winds and maybe some hail, and then of course the potential for a tornado as well. See, it's moving to the northeast at 60 miles per hour. So that is a new development. Before it was around 30 to 35 miles per hour. So let's see, let me stop this thing and let's put on a 60 mile per hour storm track. Good night, that is fast. So let me cue that up for us here, 60. And I'm just going to draw it out like this. And we'll take it up to the northeast. So just so you can kind of plan on when to expect this thing moving through. Hitting Tarpon Springs just about now. And then moving through the Safety Harbor area at 10:53. Land O'Lakes getting there around 10:58. Carrollwood around 11:04, and then if it hangs together, which it probably will, at least in some form or fashion, getting to Tampa quarter after the hour, so around 11:15 with that. So let's do a little tour of the radar here. Let me take it off and let's go down there and check this out. Yeah, the lightning, and honestly, where you look at the little balls of lightning, if I'll kind of isolate that a little bit, you've got a little cluster of lightning right there. You've got a cluster of lightning right there. And then another cluster of lightning that's almost due west of Clearwater, which on our Clearwater camera I just saw a bunch of lightning fire up. So those areas, those are the strongest part of this broader line right now that's moving to the east. So anywhere within those clusters, that's where you're going to get the stronger winds and a little bit of rotation too. So we'll have to watch those areas for the potential for, at least out over the water, a water spout, and then as that water spout or that rotation moves over land, it could produce a tornado. But generally speaking, that rotation is weakening as it approaches the coast, and we're not dealing as much with a tornado threat as what we're seeing is that severe thunderstorm or that severe wind threat coming from that severe thunderstorm. But let's go down there. We'll get a little bit closer and show you up into the Greenfield area and Shady Hills, Mazurk Town. Is that how you say that, Bobby? Mazurk? Mazurk Town. Mazurk Town. Mazurk Town. If you're from Mazurk Town and I'm not pronouncing it, or we're not pronouncing it correctly, let us know. But Spring Hill, and then right up into Powell. Powell, your rainfall obviously increasing, but a lot more lightning just to the southwest of you. So that's going to continue up to move into your area. So that's one area. In terms of rotation, there's a fair amount of rotation there. I mean, it's actually, that looks like it's gotten a little bit more pronounced. Probably more straight line winds at this point. You're seeing stronger winds here like that. But there's definitely some broader rotation within that area where we're seeing a lot of that lightning. So that's one area that we're watching right now. And then
Don't be interrupted.
Yeah, go
Greenfield
ahead.
up into northern Pasco.
Yep.
A lot of wind.
Yep.
A lot of wind.
Yep.
in that zone.
Just looking at that right there, that's got a lot of wind. So
That's
Greenfield.
50 to 60 right
So yeah, let me put on a illustration. Bobby, look at the Clearwater camera right now. Yeah, so that's 60, 70 mile per hour winds. Definitely a severe thunderstorm. We're probably going to see some damage in that area. Those are some strong winds moving through northern Pasco County. This is moving to the east-northeast, so that's going to head up towards Spring Lake and Dixie. So get ready for some potentially damaging winds with that, and this will continue towards I-75 as well. So if you're thinking about getting on the road and heading up I-75 or down I-75 through Pasco and Hernando County, I would hang tight. Let this embedded cluster of gusty winds and potentially damaging winds move through and then hit the road. Farther to the south, just off of Tarpon Springs and Holiday, some gusty winds, not as strong as what we're seeing up in Pasco and Hernando right now. But this area starting to move ashore as well. This is the area that was part of the reason we just got this new severe thunderstorm warning that just came down. That's in effect. That's a severe thunderstorm warning that's going to go until 11:30 for Hernando, Pasco, and actually farther east over into Hillsborough County. A fairly large severe thunderstorm warning. I'm going to click this over to our Clearwater Beach camera right now. Take a look at this. Right on the leading edge of that storm. I'm going to turn it to the west just a bit. If it'll move.
Yeah, it's moving a little bit on your screen. This one's it's delayed. Oh, look at that lightning.
Oh, wow. So this is right on the leading edge. I'll switch back over to our radar, and then we'll go back and forth here. Actually, let me do this. Make this easier. So here is, gosh, there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
So here's Clearwater, right here. So that's where our camera is, in Clearwater Beach. So we're looking right into that cell. Right there, so you can see the
And there's a
darker
little
area.
bit of rotation in there too. Back up.
Let's
one.
look at that.
Oh yeah, you just click right there.
Yeah, let's head over here. So here's Clearwater Beach.
Right
Yeah,
there.
a little hook right in there. I love that. That's going to be hard to see though, because that's kind of behind where the rain is. It's kind of right in here. So you see there, a little hook feature right there. That might actually be producing a water spout.
I mean, this thing near Missouri County is
Let me go back up there.
it's starting to rotate.
All right, let's switch back over here. We've got about 5 screens going right now. Look at that. Whoa.
We're gonna do a cut in here.
All right. So we're gonna
Hey guys, can we do a cut in?
we're gonna do a cut in right now on 10 Tampa Bay. So we're gonna keep tracking this. If you want to switch over to TV or go to our app, we're gonna do a cut in there. We're also we'll keep this live stream going so you can watch us. We'll probably be using this computer on TV as well. So no audio for now, guys, but watching this severe thunderstorm warning there for much of the area. Stay tuned.
talking about moving basically off towards that I-75 corridor. Now, the latest scan, this looks a little bit better to me. But look, the winds out here, granted, look at these, they're 66 miles per hour, some of the highest, at least the radar is estimated at this point. So that is something that at least we will have to watch out for, right? Anything over 58 miles per hour gets a severe thunderstorm warning. It's already a warning in the spot for that area. But what we're concerned about is that whole thunderstorm is rotating, and that's what we're seeing. And that can drop down the tornado. It's been doing this from well offshore. That's the zoom out a little bit. We've been watching these pictures for a couple hours now, and it has not been. So you can clearly see this area right in here now, where that rotation is. Now, coming back out to the south and west, we had this area here that went over Newport Richie. It's moving over there right now. No warning for that, but a pretty good line of storms coming through. Our computer is seeing this. That rotation that you see right there is actually this part right here, just a little bit behind. But that's what's going to move off towards that area. So, Grant, we had moving to the northeast is 35 miles per hour.
Yep, 35 miles per hour. All within that, you're going to deal with any number of threats, from a little bit of hail potentially, about 3/4 of an inch. You've got those gusty winds that could be in excess, like we're seeing there on the radar, 60 miles per hour. And then we've got the rotation that could drop a tornado as well. So really bring a lot of threats. And Bobby, we were talking about the heavy rain too. I mean, really heavy rain, a lot of lightning. Yeah.
A lot of lightning, a lot of heavy rain. This is when we look, when we have tornado warning, we look to see if there's some damage, if there's branches, pieces of trees that kind of thrown up into the air. This area, it's all the orange you see up here. This track has been following that rotation, so it's possible that it's been picking up some items and throwing it up. And for us, that lets us know that, yeah, that it's close to the ground, right? Because it's reaching things that it can pick up. This is not a very clear signature that we've got a tornado on there, but it's not saying that there isn't either. So we want to treat this as if it's real. A lot of times we get tornado warning, we'll have any issues. This is one of those you really need to treat very, very seriously. Now, let's go back over to the radar. Grant was talking about the lightning. You can see the leading edge of it right here, just about to the I-75 corridor. All right? As that gets there, give it about 3 or 4 minutes after the first lightning starts getting really close to you, and then you're going to start to see those 50 to 60 mile per hour winds. All right? The hail. We've seen some hail with this, and that's an indication that you've got the taller storms. Most of that's been back out to our west here. So the cell is sitting in this area right now. We're not seeing a whole lot of hail. Back to the velocity. This is covering that tornado. This is showing us that rotation right there. And oh, there we go. Perfect. It is weakened. You think, Grant, that
Yep.
looks a lot.
That latest scan.
Than the first one did. So still in the Spring Lake area. What road we got here? This is
Yeah, Powell Road. Yep, you're right there, just west of Spring Lake. And then you have Spring Lake Highway coming south of 485.
Okay. Those are the areas right now the main concern there is the Spring Lake Highway. And Powell Road. Now, between downtown Spring Lake and I-75, you're up. All right? If you want to be in your safe spot at this particular point, the worst weather is happening right here on Spring Lake Highway, right downtown Spring Lake at this particular time. It's going to move up towards the Riley area. So up 98, you live along, or south of 98, you want to be in your shelter at this particular time. In fact, let me show you the actual warning.
And Bobby, I mean, even though that's the focus for that tornado threat, you still have 45, 50 to 55 mile per hour winds all the way south into the Darby area, all the way down to 75 right now. Looks like that's just a new marine warning that just came down. Yeah.
So what Grant's talking about, all the way down Darby, south of 52, St. Joseph, San Antonio, excuse me, all that area, that's 50 to 60 mile per hour winds, right? And when you see it curved like that, that's actually a time where those winds are picking up and pushing out. So if we're going to get any damage from winds, it's now, right along that I-75 corridor. Now this is pushing into San Antonio. You've already started to see the winds pick up. I think the strongest winds will be north of St. Joseph area, but you're talking Dixie, eventually towards Lacucci, and Dade City. I mean, this is coming through. The worst weather is going to stay to the north. This is the area that we're concerned about the tornado. Again, there's 485 and 98, so we're just to the south of that at this point. But that'll be crossing. So that intersection there where 75 crosses over there, that's where you're going to be seeing the the chance for the storms. That's the exit where they've got the motorcycle track. I think it's the one south of there, the motorcycle track, which is to the north of there. But if you're in that area, you want to stay home at this particular time. Get ready to head out. Don't do that. If you are in this immediate area here in the Spring Lake, again, you want to be in the center of your house, right? Because when you walk between you and the outside world, turn on your TV, obviously, turn up, I should say, your TV, before you head in there so you can hear it. Because right now, 41, you're okay. All right, the severe weather threat, at least the tornado threat along Highway 41, all clear for you. Still some storms, still a lot of lightning around, still a lot of heavy rain as well, and some wind. But the tornadic threat from now for Spring Hill, Shady Hills, all these areas, along and west of the Suncoast Parkway, the veterans, you're in the clear at this point. It's now right here in Spring Lake, getting towards I-75. That we're concerned about.
And Bobby, sorry to interrupt, but we're also streaming live on our app right now. So you turn the TV up or just take the phone or the tablet into that safe place with you, and you have our app and you've got our live coverage of this tornado warning. So you get those updates as they come down.
So check out the line. You can see it here. All the way back down to Dunedin. And look at the lightning coming in Dunedin. Now, Spring Hill, most of Citrus County now in the clear. In fact, the rest of the afternoon is going to be drying out. It's going to get cooler. It's going to stay breezy as well. This is the worst part of the weather that's coming through. Now, all of that lightning that you're seeing there, I would expect that we're going to see some pretty good hail in this area. And you can see the tracks coming right across Tarpon Springs. All right, right into southwestern parts of Holiday in Pasco County, Newport, Ritchie, and eventually it's up through Trinity. I mean, this is Trinity actually right here. It's going to get some hail. You've got a lot of lightning right there. Severe thunderstorm warning. Let me show you where the warnings are for this particular area right now. The orange is a severe thunderstorm warning. Okay, that includes northern Pinellas, northwestern Hillsborough, so the Eagles up towards Odessa, West Chase, just kind of on the cusp. But then you get north of there, you get this whole area of western Pasco County under severe thunderstorm warning. The orange means 50 to 60 mile per hour wind gusts. Okay, most likely over 60, which can cause all kinds of damage. The red right here, that's our tornado warning. That's why we have to break into coverage here. And that's the one that's moving down. You can see the Fernando. So let's get back into tornado, see where it is now. The warning, I said, for the most part, is going to be along this I-75. It started back here, but the threat is now right there along I-75. And when we look at the velocity, you can see where it is right in here. All right, it's just a little bit behind. But that is the thunderstorm rotating. And that's what happens. When we know we're going to have thunderstorms, like we've known for a couple of days, we have a chance for severe weather. We're looking at winds. Winds out of the surface, then you come up, and the wind's blowing in a different direction. You go higher than that, the wind's blowing in another different direction. That helps these storms actually rotate. And those types of thunderstorms can produce this rotation down here to the surface. So that's what we're looking at now. You know, I'd like to say that it weakened a little bit.
It looked like it did. Yeah, the latest scan shows not only did the rotation looked like it weakened, but it looked like the wind speeds are starting to weaken also with that.
Yeah, something what we call gate-to-gate shear. We're looking at how fast the wind is on one side compared to the wind on the other side. I might go back here. Let's go back. I'm at 11:07. Let's go back. That's about 11 o'clock. See that there and that there? That is a much better picture. That right there looks more like a tornadic signature to us, showing motion in the atmosphere, right? Showing raindrops going that way, raindrops going that way. If you look at where we are right now, we don't have those bright much colors on the front side of that. That's good news. So this is actually look like this weekend just a little bit. Oh, just got another scan. And still seeing some there. It looks a little bit better. There's another way we can look at this as well. I think it's a better look. Let's take a look at that. And you can see all the high winds that are out there. But that too does look a little bit better. So 485 and 75 in this area right in here. Let me zoom in just a little bit closer for you. You are the ones that are of concern as far as tornado goes. The Spring Lake area east of town is where we're looking at. Just west of town now, obviously things are clearing out. But you can see it's moving up towards right over here, eventually over towards Ridge Manor, and off to the north and the east. About 35 miles per hour. We're a little bit slower than what we've seen earlier today. Lighting is obviously going to be an issue. A ton of it in here. When that gets really close to you, that's when we're going to get the strongest winds. That kind of gives you a little idea the backside, we still have light. All right, so even though the main line has gone through, almost to the I-75 corridor, we still have lightning strikes that are happening back here behind the Spring Lake. They're fading, we're not seeing as much, but that's also going to be an issue. All right, let's do the bigger line.
If you look back towards south, like western Pasco County, just east of Jasmine Estates, you've got a little bit of a broader rotation there where you see a lot of that lightning showing up. So go to western Pasco County, you'll see some rotation happening right there. Some stronger winds kind of jumping out ahead a little bit.
We're great talking about this area right northern Pinellas, all the way up to this little notch you see here along the veterans up in Pasco County, right where the line crosses. As a matter of fact, this is the Pasco County line here. That's the veterans and some of the park going up. So it's just in the Pasco County. So Land O'Lakes, Lutz, in fact, Lutz right now, Land O'Lakes, that's just gusty wind. Again, as far as the watches and warnings going, it's just a severe thunderstorm warning for this area right now. But again, that's the one that suggests not 60 mile per hour winds. All right, so my watch wants to talk to me. The watches, as I mentioned, the tornado watch, the yellow that you see here through 4 o'clock, that means conditions are right for producing tornadoes. The only one that we may have is this one here. The orange is the 60 mile per hour winds that we'll be watching for. It could be a little bit higher than that. We've been measuring over 60, about 66 is the highest that we've seen these on the radar. And then all this will be trimmed out because then if you look at the radar, we're basically seeing the back end of it right now. So if you are in downtown Tampa, if you are in Carrollwood, you can hear the thunder coming. Time to shut it down, right? Give somebody a call if you have friends that are working outdoors. This line's coming through. I'm not going to be able to do that. There's going to be plenty of lightning. Busch Gardens will be shutting down some of the rides, at least temporarily, because of proximity to lightning. So Sassa, Wesley Chapel, Dade City, the line's all coming through. Let me put this in motion for you so you can see. On the flip side, the back side, we're actually looking pretty good. I mean, look at Hernando and Citrus counties, western Hernando and Citrus. Pasco, man, I tell you, that's a loud one, along with northern Pinellas and northwest Hillsborough counties. So this is actually going down all the way past Indian Rocks Beach for some of the heaviest wind and rain coming through.
Bobby, that lightning has really been a good indicator of where we're seeing those little areas of rotation pick up and when those winds are starting to pick up. So even before a storm actually starts to really show the rotation, we're seeing that lightning pick up, and you can see just from that map that you're just showing that there's a lot of lightning within just those stronger little embedded cells.
Let's keep our eyes right here and then up towards 98. I'm going to go ahead and put the radar back on and see exactly what we're talking about. All the lightning there, and then right in there as well too. So, and one of the things we look for tornadic development is when you suddenly develop a lot of lightning and you start looking at charges, start just to change to a positive charge versus a negative charge. I haven't seen a lot of change in the charges this morning. You've been watching it, but you can clearly see this here. One thing about tornadoes is they're easier to form in what we call discrete cells, individual cells versus a whole line. Look at this line and see how it's all kind of packed together. There's kind of a little cell here, another one here. That's certainly its own cell, and that's the one that has the warning. And it's easier for that rotation to occur if it's kind of its own cell sticking out there. And that's what we've been seeing this afternoon. Grant, what time does that warning go through?
The tornado warning goes until 11:30, and the severe thunderstorm warning, which that includes Pinellas as well, it goes until 11:30. I guess they're both going to 11:30. You may want to switch over to the Clearwater Beach camera. That trailing edge of a lot of that southerly bulk of lightning that we are looking at. You get an indication of what it looks like in all those concentrated, or you said discrete cells. Gusty conditions, the visibility is awful. So it's everything, every bit of a severe thunderstorm there.
Yeah, this is the worst of the wind pushing through right now. And Chris, actually, Grant's on weather 1. If you want to just take weather 1 full at that time and come back to me with that. There's Grant driving that right there. You can see. Yeah, that's pretty good looking at that radar out there, the camera out there at Clearwater Beach. All right, let's get back real fast. Let's go over weather 2. I want to show them watching that warning again real fast this morning. The tornado warning. Hopefully, this is supposed to expire at 11:30. We get you back to the Price is Right. Again, it started out over here, but the main threat is this area right here along I-75 and 98. This is the radar. We show you the radar, obviously, but the key point about this is where is that spin because of the tornado, and what does that spin look like? And guys, this is good news. We just got another scan in here. And we definitely have a lot of high wind. In fact, we see that.
That's 60.
I'm getting 63. You got 65, yeah.
So that's radar estimated, that's just off the ground, but today that's certainly possible to be pulled down. So we're probably gonna get a little bit of damage from the carports, some branches, limbs, that type of thing coming down. Spring Lake in the clear. You're all good now, okay? Good news for you. Spring Lake Highway, that whole corridor in the clear. The threat right now is Woods right over in 75, right there in the right area, 75 and 98. I think that most of this will go, or at least the rotation part will go north of Ridge Manor, but you still have 65 mile per hour winds coming through the air. That's gonna cause some damage. The rotation looks a whole lot better at this particular point. So you're not seeing what we were seeing earlier. So basically what that means is the chance for that tornado to still be on the ground is a whole lot lower. But it doesn't mean the threat is over, right? Since it's skipped, I'm up and down. And you can see we're starting to see the rotation just sound. But this is looking a whole lot better than that's going. So, Lacucci, you're up next. Again, you want to be basically center floor, those big wall between you and the outside world. Second floor, not good, right? Stay away from the windows. You want to be basically downstairs, obviously. I tell the kids at school, you know, people, if you've got kids at school, I know you're worried about them right now up in that area. Don't worry about them. The schools are made for this as much as they can be, of course, and the kids practice this. So it's, you know, not a bad thing for kids at school because you're doing pretty good there for the big single line buildings. But if you're in your house, obviously, it's downstairs and the center. What we tell you is that turn the TV up before you go there, right? Take some pillows with you so you can put it around your head, that type of thing, protect yourself a little bit, and then head back out once we give you the call. But again, that parkway area now is actually looking pretty good. So let's go back out over to the radar here, there. Here we go. See how it's pushing off towards the south and the east, the whole line to the east? The threat will stop pretty quickly here. Man, oh man, look at northern Pinellas County.
That's a ton of lightning, yeah.
Power outages can be expected, of course, and it's going to get windy. Let's look at the lightning. You can see all the lightning's happening. And then this color shading you see here is where we expect it to continue. Now let's go up to the warm stuff and show you the lightning. That is actually what we can do. It's not like what it was. This is the area that we're watching right now here for the tornado. All right, right there in eastern Hernando County. It's about ready to move out into Sumter County up towards Webster. Still a ton of lightning. We just had another strike right there. Positive strike as well too. Most of the lightning's negative. When you start to see that flip, going from a lot of negative to a lot of positive, sometimes that means you're getting a tornado. We've been kind of 50-50 there for a little while. This area right here, along the Pasco Hernando border, right there, just east of Suncoast Parkway, that's where we expect the lightning to continue and push off towards the east. That's just a pretty good self-continuing there. That has the severe thunderstorm warning, but it does not have the rotation. It's just very heavy rain. Speaking of which, let's go look at some of the rain that we've seen so far. The roads, I mean, we can handle a lot of water here, but the roads have seen a lot of rain, and it's not coming up.
Bobby, just to get back to that point about talking about the lightning, for comparison, the cell that's moving through Pinellas County there into Safety Harbor, out of Clearwater, and Dunedin, that's produced about 220 lightning strikes within the last 15 minutes. So that one is incredibly electric. Starting to hear some of the thunder actually move over the station right now. The embedded cell that's just along the Hillsborough and Pasco County line, that's producing about 120 lightning strikes in the last 15 minutes. And then that one that actually has the tornado warning issued for it, only about 80 to 90 lightning strikes. So a lot more lightning with the severe thunderstorms that are farther south, but obviously more rotation and stronger wind gusts up north.
We have reports from Odessa now that we have about P-size scale. All right, we expect that. There's the warning. Odessa down in this area right here, northern Hillsborough, southern Pasco County. The warning continues until for another 11 minutes or so, 1 to 11:30. The threat right now is along I-75, crossing I-75 right now. Oh, there it goes. All right, they've just discontinued the tornado. Is that correct? Let me look at that.
Yeah, so
Cancel the tornado.
cancel the tornado warning.
Okay, cool. Now, that means we can get you back to the prices right. Now, here's the deal. This whole line has to move through the area. It will not weaken a whole lot, okay? And what's happening, especially in Pinellas, and what's going to happen northwestern, north central Hillsborough County, you're going to get a lot of rain to pile up here, probably about 2 to 3 inches. It's not terrible, but there's gonna be a lot of water on the roads here the next hour or so. There's gonna be a ton of lightning, so especially central Hillsborough and eastward into eastern Pasco County, and eventually all the way down through Pinellas. Manatee, we haven't mentioned you in Sarasota yet. The line will be a little bit weaker by the time it comes through here. You can see there's still more offshore. But we're gonna have to watch for rotation for Manatee County, for southern Pinellas, for Manatee, and for Sarasota throughout the afternoon. We think our best chance for severe weather, though, is exactly where we've seen it for so far this morning, early afternoon. All right? Let's get you back to the prices right. 10 news at noon is coming up at 12, of course. We'll see you then.
Hey guys, just wrapped up live coverage on 10 Tampa Bay with that tornado warning that was just canceled for Hernando and Pasco County. So still a severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 11:30 for Hernando, Hillsborough, Pasco, and Pinellas County. That's with that longer line of the severe storms that's moving through. So it's not just the gusty winds, the heavy rain, but also a lot of lightning within a lot of those. Like we were talking about on TV, there's over 200 lightning strikes in that embedded cell that's moving through Pinellas County right now. And then farther to the north into southern Pasco County, there's about 120 lightning strikes. So a lot of lightning, a lot of gusty winds, the potential for some damage coming in with that as well. So we'll continue to track it. We'll stay here live with you. I'm going to jump off of here for a little bit, leave the radar up so you can track it. And then, of course, if there's any more warnings or any more updates, I'll make sure to jump in here and keep you guys posted. Stay safe out there as these storms continue to move through.